on a date with a girl named Delaney, who I matched with on Bumble. She seemed really down to earth, kind, and to me was very attractive. We decided that I would pick her up at her place at 8 p.m. and we would go to this Italian restaurant in town. I get to her house and texted her that I'm here. She walks out of the house and I went to go open the passenger door for her. Now here's where the first red flag was. She said she didn't want to sit in the front seat with me and instead got into the back seat. It was a very strange car ride to the restaurant. I felt like I was an Uber driver or something. We get to the restaurant and go to take our seats. And here's where another red flag happens. Instead of her sitting across from me so we can talk face to face, she sits right next to me. I found this odd, but tried my best to stay composed and just enjoy the night. We actually did have a good time at the restaurant, and Delaney invited me back to her place. When we got there, we opened up a bottle of red wine. We sat down on our couch to chat some more, and this is where the third red flag comes in. She looks me right in my face and says, "This is my second life. In my first life, I actually died on the Titanic." I nearly spit my wine out at this point because it caught me so off guard. She remained emotionless and asked if I believed her. I told her that's an interesting theory, but no, I don't believe it. I believe we only have this one life that's given to us. She snatched the wine glass out of my hand and told me that we could never be compatible and asked me to leave. So many questions were racing through my head, but I respected her wishes and left her place. The next morning, I got a text from Delaney. It said, "I can also see into the future. You will die within the next 2 weeks, and I'm never wrong about my prophecies." Like I said in the beginning, this happened over a year ago, and I'm clearly still alive. So, Delaney, I guess you were right. We aren't compatible. I blocked her number and haven't been on a dating app since. So I am never using Tinder again. A few months ago, I matched with this guy named Matt. He seemed like a good guy. He had a good paying job, seemed financially responsible, and looked like he went to the gym. However, he did live almost an hour away from me, which wasn't the worst thing, but it was annoying. Anyway, I was at work one day, and I was texting Matt. I had stupidly made the mistake of telling him where I worked, which was a small shop that sold hoagies at the time. Well, our conversation was getting pretty stale, so I made an excuse and texted him that my phone was dying and I probably couldn't talk for a while. I shit you not, 10 minutes after I sent that message, I see Matt walking into my store. He seemed really shy, and he walked up to me and handed me an iPhone charger. This was so weird to me, because again, he lived about an hour away, and was at my place of work within 10 minutes. It was also super awkward, because we hadn't met in real life yet. He walked out staring at me. A bunch of my coworkers asked who that was, and I just said someone I know. I didn't like the vibes that I was getting from him, so I decided that I would cut all ties with him that day and just move on. Matt told me he was at a bar down the road if I wanted to stop by for drinks after work. When I got off work, I drove over there, found him in the bar, and returned the charger. He seemed to be pretty drunk already, and was trying to put his arms around me and pull me in. I made some lame excuse about being tired and not feeling well, and left the bar. But when I got home that night, I went onto Instagram. As I was scrolling, I saw Matt had posted a story, and I was tagged in it. I clicked it. It was a picture of the bar that he was still at with the caption saying, "So glad I'm not single anymore," with a heart, and he had my username tagged. I got major creepy vibe from this, and just altogether blocked him on everything. Even after I cut him off, I swear I would see him walk by my work from time to time. He would try to be slick, but I would sometimes catch him looking in and just staring. He hasn't tried anything, and I do now have a boyfriend. But just be careful on those dating apps, everyone. There are some creepy people on them. So here's my nightmare story of using dating apps. Recently, I matched with this girl, Nadira, on Hinge. We seemed to hit it off almost instantly. She was into the same shows, sports teams, and politics that I was. And it was going so well that we both decided that we wanted to meet each other. There was a small coffee shop in my city, and I asked her to meet me there. When the day came, I got there early and ordered myself a coffee. I picked a spot in the back so that we could have some privacy. We agreed to meet at 10 a.m. When 10:20 came, Nadira still wasn't there. I sent her a text message and asked her if she could find the place okay. I was not expecting the response that I got. Nadira, which turned out not to be her name, was in fact really a guy. He texted me saying that he was insecure about himself, but really wanted to meet me because he had already fallen in love with me. He said he's been in the coffee shop the whole time and was watching me now. And I couldn't believe it. I looked all around the coffee shop, which was packed. I saw some man walk out just as I was looking around. I sat there by myself, just contemplating the whole situation, and was super pissed that I was catfished. I left a tip on the table and left the coffee shop. Later that night, as my nerves started to cool off, my phone started ringing. It was Nadira, or rather the catfish. I really didn't want to pick up, but did so anyway. I put the phone to my ear, and all I heard was this heavy, deep breathing. I was disgusted and hung up. I was about to block the number and never deal with this situation again when there was a knock at my front door. It was past 11 at this point. I slowly went to my front door and opened it. I didn't see anyone or anything at first, but then I saw a Polaroid photo taped to my door. I picked it up and looked at it. It was a picture of me from earlier that day, sitting in the coffee shop. I turned it over and saw there was a message. It just said, "To my beloved." Then, by the end of my driveway, I saw movement by my bushes. I ran over to them and saw some man running down the street at full speed. I thought about running after them, but decided not to. I knew that it was that creep who catfished me, who was really a man. I went back inside, locked my whole house up, and then blocked his number from my phone and on Hinge. Not only did this guy stalk me in the coffee shop, but he must have followed me home and now knew where I lived. I can't tell you how disturbed I was by this. But strangely enough, after that night, there was no other contact from him. However, I still don't know what he actually looks like, because he used some girl's photos on Hinge. So, for all I know, he could still be watching me, and I wouldn't have a clue if he was.